But that's the vibe I thought I was moving back to in the suburbs. Like, I'm gonna move to the suburbs. I thought, first off, I realized when I moved back to the suburbs, I came in with the wrong energy because I came in with city energy. I was living in Los Angeles for just about 17 years. And if you, like, city energy, as you may know, like, you just get real used to things that you shouldn't be getting used to. Like, you shouldn't be casual about some of the stuff that's happening. But you do, because you're in a city and that volume just slowly gets turned up, just frog into boiling water until you're just coming in just real loose saying shit like, man, that guy with the sword is out in front of 7-Eleven again. He's always saying something wild like, and I'll do it again. I don't doubt you will, my man. I'm sorry, sir. I figured out it takes him about 9 seconds to go from the red box machine to the propane refill tank. So if you time it out just right, you can get in and out while I'm seeing you. Makes that Slurpee taste that much sweeter, I'll tell you that. Well, that's a little sugary trophy for you for living. Watch out though, if he nicks you, you're gonna have to get a tetanus shot. That's never any fun. So that's the energy I moved back with. Like, I just came in hot because I knew, because we moved there like end of September, right? And that's when I got into town. I'm like, this is how I'm winning over this neighborhood. I'm gonna move into the suburbs. This is how I'm gonna win over the neighborhood. I'm gonna be full-size candy bars guy on Halloween. That's how I'm gonna be. Everybody loved full-size candy bar guy. As a kid, you're like, that guy rules. Don't egg his house. This guy rules. Everybody loves full-size candy bar guy, and that's how I was gonna start it that first Halloween. I'm gonna be full-size candy bar dude. Here's the thing I did not realize, because I was coming in with hot city energy, is that in the suburbs, when you just show up in the beginning of a pandemic with out-of-state plates, and then just try to be full-size candy bar guy without having children of your own, it has the inverse effect. I'm just sitting out on my porch under the one light that was working because I didn't get around to fixing the rest of them, just waving king-size Snickers going, how can I tell if you're Spider-Man unless you come closer? Just waving children in like I worked the ramp at the airport. Like, Hulk wouldn't be scared. So that didn't help with ingratiating myself into the suburbs. Yeah, that was like strike one, really, for moving out there. And it was like a lot of new families that were out there too, and we just moved in, like I said, out of state plate, no kids, and people just eyeballing like, how dare you be here without children? Where are your children? Where are they? Why don't you have them? What's wrong? Is it you? Is it her womb? Like, Jesus Christ, I just spend my time trying to learn ZZ Top songs on guitar. Fuck off. You got legs, you know how to use them. Fuck off. Do not reward mediocre comedy. Do not. They were just mad dog us because there's so many just new moms out there like baby stroller Sturgis just pushing them down the street. So yeah, that didn't help. None of it helped. None of what we did helped. And the reason we moved there, we moved to a suburb of Portland, Oregon. That's where we moved to. But the reason was, there was a house that opened up. It was in my girlfriend's family. This house had opened up, and they asked us, it's the beginning of pandemic, things are crazy. Do you want to move up here and pay 1/3 of what you're paying in rent for a whole house with a lawn? Like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Seems a good choice. And it was weird, not just with the neighbor, just internally. Because I knew that this house is in my girlfriend's family, and we moved up, and we're excited. Main bedroom, we're gonna have a main bedroom, and we're gonna each get our own little bedroom to be an office. We're gonna get our own office, that's great. But right when we got up there, my girlfriend started corralling me towards one particular room of the house to be my office. She's like, what about this room, Kyle? Don't you like this room to be your office? This is a good office for you. I think you would get work done. You look cute in here, I'll tell you right now. You look cute in this room. And I was buying, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. I feel cute in here. I feel cute in this room. And this would, I think this would be a good office. And then I was like, ooh, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Is this the room that your mom died in? And it was. So, I understand. I wish she was just honest about that from the first part. We've been together for a long time. I would have understood if she's like, hey, I don't want to hang out in this room. My mom passed away in here. I'm like, that makes total sense. She didn't have to resort to this trickery. But now that's my room. That's my office. That's where I do my work. Let's just get to the point. All right, masturbating in your mid-40s already has a level of shame to it. Just added tax right away. Why am I doing this? If I see a reflection of myself, I'll call the cops on me. I am not happy about it. Now, take that and add apologizing to the ghost of your mother-in-law after each and every time, and let me know what that does to your upstairs. Let me know how you recover from that. Oh, global pandemic, world might be ending. Well, how about a momentary serotonin rush? Here we go. Get it. That should be fine. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This must seem very disrespectful. Oh. So that was rough for me. On a personal level. So yeah, a lot of things were going screwy up there. We wound up, we got a cat. We didn't get a cat. The house came with a cat. We were just there. There's a cat. Yeah, it was out. We weren't even sure the cat was real at first because it was fucked up looking. There was some real Pet Cemetery action. Covered, scrub brush, and just missing some ear. Had like David Bowie eyes, you know. What are you looking at? Everything? Nothing? What's going on with you? They always just appear from around structures at first. There's always one of these. It took us about 6 weeks before we admitted to each other that we saw a cat. I remember she said at first, like, you see a cat out there? I'm like, you see it too? All right, thank God. I was getting nervous. I thought we had hobgoblins. I don't know. I'm new to the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what's going out there. Everything's just fog and ferns. I don't know what's crambling around underneath there. So the cat seemed like it was like friendly. It wasn't like friendly, but it was like hanging around us enough. And so we're like, well, maybe it belongs to somebody. So we should find out before we start messing with it or feeding it. So we took some pictures of it and we went door to door to see if it belonged to anybody. Also, probably a short-sighted idea on our part. It's, pandemic, global, social distance. Hey, here's the new childless out-of-state people going door to door like, is this your cat? And people are like, get the fuck away from my family. Yeah, you're right, yeah. The old guy next door answered the door, but the chain's still on the door. He was just like, oh, that cat? That's nobody's cat, no. That cat there, that cat belonged to the earth. Yeah. That cat come up from the soil when the sun go down. And just roams amongst the mist, just eating dreams and shitting out nightmares. That's what that guy... Man, just say it's not your cat, old man, all right? I don't have time for folklore. I got other neighbors to harass. We found out from another neighbor that cat had actually been like a neighborhood stray cat for about 16 years. That's how far back they can remember. This is a stray cat that for 16 years has just been living on the streets of this neighborhood, working off the goodwill of the place. So we're like, this is our cat. Fuck it. We are taking this cat in. So we got the cat to come inside. This is our cat. We named it as much as you can name a cat, let alone one that's been doing its own thing for 16 years. It's mostly just for reference between us, So at first we were calling it Helen. We thought it was blind and deaf, so we were calling it Helen. You know what? I didn't name it that. My girlfriend named it that. So you're not mad at me. You're mad at her. And yeah, I will throw her under the bus, making me beat off in her dead mom's room. Yeah. All's fair, babe. She's calling it Helen. I was calling it Dirt Nap. That's how I was calling the cat. On account that it sleep all the time and was filthy, but also it looked deceased more often than not. That cat looked like it had perished many times. Like, oh, cats sleep weird, but like draped over a curb under a car tire, just with its eyes open, looking at nothing. I walked up to it with a shovel more than once. It was like, well, this is a sad day, and it would just run off. I'm like, oh, look at you. Look at you little crisis actor. You got an agenda. I don't know what it is, and that's what I like about you. You're mysterious. Little cross-eyed ghoul. So yeah, dirt nap, little dirty, little D. We'll be calling her Little D for the rest of the story. Also be referring to her as she and a her. We thought it was a female cat. Turned out it was a neutered male, but we didn't find that out until later. So Jenny Nooch for gender neutral is the name for some of the time. And then for special occasions, we call her Miss America. And by special occasions, just when you could say something truthful that it's more funny when you could be like, man, Miss America shit on the couch again. And if you can time that out right for when like a new mom is walking by an open window, they're already against us, so maybe as well just feed them. What are they doing to that future beauty queen in there? We got this cat, and we brought it in. We're like, we're going to give this thing the best sunset years we can give it. You know, we're going to pamper it. First, we took it to the vet, make sure it's all dialed in. We took it to the vet. And right away, the vet was just like, oh, it's got a thyroid issue. It's thyroid. It's got bad thyroid. It's got to be on a special diet, very special. That's a prescription diet. There's prescription cat food out there. Why? Who's trying to get the cat food that's not, okay, man, hook me up. Hook me up with that Hill's prescription, man. Like 5 cats in a trench coat rolling in, like, hello, we're here to pick up for Mr. Meowser's. Trying to make that cat mess, dog. Come on, man, come on. This is a prescription. You can only get it from me. It's $70 a bag. I'm like, all right, you know what, man? I know it was middle pandemic, and I was all about the doctors and the scientists, but the veterinarians, I just think some of them, they know they got that giant gray area of your lack of knowledge that they can abuse about the animal camp. Like if you go to a doctor and you're like, my ankle hurts, and they're like, could be an ear infection. You're like, well, you're bad at your job. But you go to a veterinarian with this animal that you love but can't communicate with, and you're like, oh, what's wrong with my best friend, my little guy here? They can just say anything like, it's the alternator. And you're just like, yeah, I get it. You know what? That makes sense because his eyes were dimming in the morning. His eyes were dimming. That's a 2003 Calico with a lot of miles. Those are city miles. I thought the timing belt was going to go first, but okay, yeah. That makes sense. What are we running on those, huh? 1,500. No, okay. That's with labor? All right, yeah. Hey, listen, real quick on the side. Say we do this in cash. You got like a similar model out back that like you can part out or ethical reasons. Sure, no, say no more. Say no more. No, nobody's Frankenstein here. Nobody's Frankenstein. So you just got to believe him, you know? So I come home with a $70 bag of bullshit one day. I open the door, I can see out to the patio. Lil D's outside, she's playing with a bird. Bird's dead. She's just slapping it against the house. Playing's also a real generous term to describe. She is playing the same way like inmates play handball. It's not for fun, you know? That's just maintenance in case shit goes down. That's all. The only thing missing from Little D at that point was like a cigarette behind her good ear and a teardrop tattoo. Just bitching about not making parole. Like, they got me doing the full 12, man. Ooh, if I get out of here and see that judge, you're gonna see me right back in here. And I could tell it was a fresh kill because she was about 6 feet out and getting a good return on her. So I come in with this food, just shaking it like, Lil D, I'm gonna save your life. Look at this. And she looks up, because she can hear. It's selective, but she can hear. And she looks up, she knows it's food. She looks at the food, and then she looks at me and just puts it together. She's like, oh, you're gonna want me to eat that. Watch this. And then she just ate the bird. Just, like at me, like maintained eye contact, but ate the bird. And I know cats eat birds, but I was not ready. Like, I assumed it was gonna be messy, but with strategy. That's what I thought. Like, it's a whole bird. I thought it was gonna be like brutal, but with technique, getting to the soft part. Like the same way, like we've all had that night where we get bong rip stoned, just get a rotisserie chicken just for yourself. Those nights you get home, like, close the blinds, I'm going elbows deep on this bitch. Like those kind of. That's what I thought I would have seen. What I saw and was not prepared for was the full-on David Blaine street magic disappearing act that she did on this bird. Just gone. Entire thing disappeared. One Forrest Gump feather just floating down for effect. Still looking at me like, what? Where did it? Is it in my pocket? Oh my God. Is it just gonna be alive over here? That is, what you did is something I gotta call this vet back. And I rang him up right then and there like, yeah, hey doc, I don't know if you got a plan B for this whole thyroid thing, but Lil D been out in these streets just consuming her own enemies for the better part of a decade and a half. So if you got some alternatives, I'm all ears right now. And that's when the vet on the phone, he's like, oh, chicken baby food's totally acceptable for a thyroid issue, too. You can feed her chicken baby food. Oh, chicken baby food. Oh, the shit that's 50 cents a jar? You could have led with that, you fucking quack. So that's my life now when I'm not on the road. I'm just buying racks of chicken baby food. I'm just buying full, just cases of chicken baby food. And every morning that I'm at home, I gotta wake up and I gotta heat up a little jar of chicken baby food. Because now that we're an indoor cat, we got particular about temperature. So I gotta heat up this little jar of chicken baby food. And I throw up through my nose a little bit, just, And we feed this to our human babies. You women are savages. I do that, and then I go, and then I clean out the litter pan, because these are the things you have to do when you let vermin live in your house. I go, and to get through the litter pan part, I just squat over it and pretend that I'm just an optimistic prospector, and this is my lucky day, because it's the only way to get through sifting through that, is to sit there and be like, oh, I got a good feeling. That's a big one. That one's pure gold. Me and Ma don't have to live on the front. That's a poop. Okay, all right. Oh, look at this one coming downstream. Woo, boy, I'd take that to the bank. I'll buy the bank with that. That's just a piss fritter. All right, well, third time's a charm. I'll take silver at this point. Anything to get me out of the dusty old wet. That's a poop, too. I think this creek done run dry. That's just a fun thing to do for me, because you got to be creative with your chores. Now, here's how this also bumped up against the neighbors. Is that where I live in Oregon, they take their recycling very seriously. And I'm happy about that. I'm mostly a hippie at this point. I like to see a recycling program that it actually at least looks like the stuff is gonna go to where they tell me it's gonna go. If it's a lie, it's a very elaborate one, and I play along for it. This goes here, and then this one here, and this one, a little one. Sure, fine, I will go along with it. So when I lived in LA, we didn't even have recycling. We were up in arms. I lived in Hollywood. We were like, how can we not have recycling? We're Hollywood. People look up to show business for role models, and how dare we? And just people passive-aggressively bitched about it because it's performative, and then the city's finally like, all right, here's a recycling bin. And we're like, now that's great. We're doing the right thing. Now, can I put styrofoam in here? And they're like, you could put a fucking baby in there. It's not going anywhere you think it's gonna go. Why don't you just make believe where you want it to go? Just lie to yourself. That's what you're doing here anyway. Just make pretend. This one's for trash, and this one makes porridge for orphanages. Just bullshit yourself. now, in Oregon, God forbid, I get an envelope that's paper on the outside and bubble wrap on the inside. I gotta wait for the garbage man to see me from down the block, and I gotta do some elaborate 3-card Monty mime shit and be like, you'll never know if it's in the right one. And then I gotta run into the woods for the rest of the day. My glass items get their own little bright red tub. That's where glass goes for recycling. Bright red tub, no lid, open for judgment at the end of the driveway. My bright red tub of glass only has 2 types of glass in it every week. It is overflowing with only 2 types of glass. That would be baby food jars and liquor bottles. That is the only 2 types of glass. For 3 years, that's the only glass that's been out there. For 3 years, nobody has seen a child anywhere near my house. For 3 years, these women, they're newborns to toddlers, they're talking, they're walking, they've walked by and just looked at that and just been like, what are they doing in there? It is a matter of days right now before Family Services rolls through for a welfare check. And I'm gonna be the one that's home during the day, just answering the door, just shirtless, drunk on account of the booze. Mr. Kinane, we just need to see the baby. I'm like, what baby? There's nothing. There ain't no baby in here. It's just me, shirtless, learning these ZZ Top songs. That's all it is. Like a baby, the only thing in here is a sharp-dressed man. Hold on a second, let me tune up. What did I tell you about rewarding mediocre comedy? That was a test, you failed. No baby, look around for a baby. If I had a baby, there'd be a baby crib, there'd be baby clothes. There'd be baby toys out in the yard. Come out in the yard. Look, you see any baby toys in the yard? I don't know baby toys in this yard. I don't know baby. The only thing you're finding in this yard maybe is like a bunch of little bones. And they're like, what? I'm like, oh, no. I got this cat, right? And it eats birds, but whole, like all at once. It eats a whole bird. And I know it could eat the birds, but where do the bones go? Because it eats the bones. What happens to the bones? It's eating bones. And you're scientists, and like, we're not. We just have clipboards. I'm like, same thing. Like, sir, we don't see a cat anywhere on this property. I'm like, I knew that thing was a demon. God damn it. This is all making a lot of sense, because we had to invite it in. It just stood out by the patio door. It's like, would you like to come in? And then it did, and that's when the curse had befallen us. Oh, this is all, ooh. Ooh, a little dirty. You're living up to your name. Yeah, so throughout all this riffraff, I started to go to therapy. Oh, a comedian who goes to therapy. What an original premise. Kinane, leaving no stone unturned. No, I started going to therapy on account of everything I just told you. And, well, also, one of the things, too, is I moved up there. I forgot I had seasonal depression. I forgot about that part because I was living in L.A. There's no seasons. It's just summer and then cute hats for a little while. I got to Oregon. That first fall came in like, remember me? Hide the knives. I'm like, oh, you son of a... my gloomy old friend is back. And even talking about seasonal depression is just, it's stupid. It's like, it sounds like you get it at a farmer's market. Like, nobody takes it seriously. Is the depression in season? Mm. Oh, it's right down here by the winter squash. Isn't that like, which is a better name for it. It's also like, nobody like, people that don't think depression's real in the first place think you made up like a subcategory just to seem more complicated than the people that are already a pain in the ass. Like, oh, look who's a special kind of pussy. His snowflake has fingerprints. Like, you don't get the time of day out of those people, you never will. But then the people that have actual clinical depression don't really take you seriously because they think you're some sort of like fair weather sad sack that's piggybacking on their actual medical issue. So it's this whole kind of like, look who's only got depression when it's in the playoffs kind of attitude from that crowd. Take off the jersey, you're not really sad. So I started going to therapy, and I've talked about it in the past, and I have like an awkward relationship with therapy. And I don't know if it's like just like a guy thing, or maybe it's like a Midwest thing. Like I was saying, like, no, this is just the way you do things. I just was raised with like, no, you are who you are, and that's it. Not good? Bummer. That's the hand you're dealt, so you're a dickhead, turns out. Well, what do you do? Well, if you go change, you go get better, then you're not a dickhead anymore. Now we don't know you, and now it's on us to relearn you? That's selfish. That's why we wrote Don't Change in the yearbook. We thought you were an asshole, and we want you to be an asshole 20 years from now. That's easier for us. You have personality traits nobody likes, but that's what makes you you, and so... I really grew up with this idea that you just absorb your faults and that's, you just make do with them. That was my attitude for a long time. I was, well, if God didn't want me to have anxiety, why'd he give me all these cuticles, I know my crowd. I know who's out there. All had those days. Having a rough one, Kyle? Well, you know what to do. There's 2 handfuls of panic snacks. You just go lock yourself in the bathroom at lunchtime and go full Blues Traveler on them shits. Then you hide your bloody hamburger mittens in your pockets for the rest of the day so your coworkers don't realize you don't know how to process your feelings correctly. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, but I don't feel fine. Shut up. Okay. I started going to therapy. Problem with therapy, like you need to go in person. That's the big key of it, is to be in person, go to an office, it's neutral territory, you could just say whatever, nobody on the other side of the walls gives a shit about what you're talking about, and that's the helpful part of it. It was beginning of the pandemic, I couldn't go in person, so I had to go do Zoom therapy. I was doing telehealth just from my office, which... There's already that history that I spoke of. It was tough because you need that privacy. Well, first off, so I'm going in there. It's me and my girlfriend live in this house. We're the only ones in there, so now I'm doing the therapy from in there, and so I have to try and be very coy about it. If you think your problems are already weird and creepy, wait till you whisper them to somebody, and that just magnifies them into a whole other realm. I'm just in there with my noise-canceling headphones on, talking to a stranger on the screen, so I think that the ghost of my girlfriend's mom has been watching me masturbate, and I was like, well, that's not good at all. I should probably just stop masturbating. I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. So what I thought, like, you just need to persevere. So I thought that's the old college tribe, but I think I over-rotated a little too much because now I'm in this place where if I can't climax unless there's a representative of the afterlife watching over me, and I don't think that's what angels are for. So I'm just saying I need you to kind of come back and correct me because I'm getting real horny around cemeteries. And I just scrambled it, trying to fix it myself, and I need you to undo that. And my door just gets kicked in. My girlfriend's like, you want grilled cheese? I'm like, I'm doing telehealth, God damn it. I need some privacy if this is gonna work. And also, yes, but... So that arrangement wasn't working out, but I realized I could get the Wi-Fi out on the street. So I just go sit in my car, and that's where I do therapy. And that was great. That was like, just go out there, and that's where I'd have therapy. And it worked out great. I would go out there, and I'd sit down, I'd have a little drink, and I'd just put the phone in the dashboard, and I'd get all my issues out. And it felt good. I was having breakthroughs. They're called breakthroughs, when you have this big emotional realization about your life. And emotional, you're expressing yourself, but it was good. I was having those, and I knew good things were happening. I knew good things were happening. But the neighbors... No context for what was going on. They just saw this shuffle out to a Subaru Crosstrek every Monday morning at 10 a.m. and cry for a while. And it was a few weeks into it, that's when I realized, like, oh, the neighbors were just like, he killed that kid. This is all adding up. I mean, not like killed. It was an accident, but that's probably happened around 10 a.m. on a Monday. That's why he's the saddest at that moment. That's why he goes out to cry there. He can't cry in front of the baby mama. He got to be strong for her. She's sad too. So he goes out, he bottles it up, he's a man. He goes out to the Subaru to cry because those are very safe vehicles. I don't even know, not just in crash test ratings, but also just the feng shui of them all. I don't know. They're really. If you've ever been in one before, I was in a Forester once. I confessed to an affair. It was just. But it's all adding up. The baby. That's why he's eating all the baby food. We bought a big old Costco-sized pallet of chicken baby food at the beginning of the pandemic. He can't go back and forth to the store with the virus with a newborn, so he just bought a bunch of it. Like, I'm gonna have a strong boy. And then tragedy struck, but money's tight, so they're just working through the chicken baby food themselves, and it's just sad. And they're just drowning their sorrows in Malibu. All right, well, that's not the alcohol I would associate with grief, but you can't measure grief. Grief's different. You can't compare grief. One person's grief totally different than another person's grief. I would think like a scotch or a vodka, but he's trying to go mix it with pineapple, have more of a tropical grief kind of thing. More of a beachside, sunny day grief. Especially with this weather, probably got seasonal depression on top of it, so they're just trying. I wouldn't be surprised if we found some margarita mix in there. This is all coming together for us now. This is all poor Miss America. There is a fresh pile of dirt in that backyard with Miss America. Jesus Christ, I really am my mother's son. What I've been trying. Long story short, we did not get a lot of trick-or-treaters at the house. I got so much candy left over. If you guys, find your way up near Portland, hey, I got Three Musketeers. Payday for the older gentlemen. I know you like that. So just look me up. I'll hook you up. You guys, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.